Well, good people, it's come time now to bring the crazy one out here. Those of you who came to laugh a little, well, it's time to get him out here and let him do a couple of the acts, some of the routines he's made famous on the Jimmy Heap Show. I'm speaking about Mr. Ken Idaho. Well, I see you all already, so it's showtime once again. All right, here he comes, the one and only Mr. Ken Idaho with one he's put together here, a little thing he calls the ring around.
About 1 can of a 10-cent paint. My wife, she's a buy down at your store. And now my tail, she's a pretty sore. My wife, she's a clean and she's a neat. She's a buy that paint for the toilet seat. 1 whole week we watch with an eye, but that darn no pain. She's a nipple dry. My daughter, she gets the ring around from the toilet seat where she sat down. 1 whole week we watch and we wait. Now the whole darn family gets a constipated. Mr. Dime Store Man, I'ma ask you. You gotta eat and some go through. When the pain she hit, I'm a nearly faint. I'm a screaming to think of that damn no pain. My wife's got a sister named Marie. She lives all the time in the house with me. And you know how sex raises a lovely head. Sometime I sneak up to my Marie's bed. Last night I'ma look where she sat down. She's also got the ring around. It's a pretty little ring shaped like a heart. Now she got a frame around her better part. But I'm not crazy, I'm a pretty smart. That white ring make it easy to find in the dark. But now from that sweet little Marie, I got a white ring around on the front of me. I'ma try to wipe her with a turpentine. She howl like a wolf, I'ma lose my mind. Now I'm scared of both the night and day. When my wife see that ring, it's gonna be hell to pay. Mr. Doctor Man, I'ma ask you, what in the hell am I gonna do? I got another problem, let me give you a tip. How do I explain this white paint on my upper lip?
He's a complete idiot, I'll tell you for sure. Yeah, we're going to bring him right back. We'll have him right back. But, you know, I'd like to say something right here. You know how television is these days. They're putting a lot of movies on, and they'd be wonderful, they'd be great, but they're getting so many commercials that, it just not even, you lose interest in the movie. They insert so many commercials. And we'd like to show you what we think it would be like at the rate they're going 2 years from now if things keep progressing like they are. Here's Mr. Ken Idaho to give you his impression of what television shows of the future will be like.
Yes, sir, you listen to station SNOT TV in Butterville. overlooking beautiful Nasal Passage, New Mexico. And now we take you to the Snot Rag Hotel, to the Blow Room, where we have Charlie Nostril and his 7 nasty nose pickers ready to play a little song for you. A song entitled, I'll Get You Yet, You Bugger You. Oh, pick it out, boys. But first, a word from our sponsor. And now here we are in Buffalo, New York, where the water is moderately hard. And now, to show the powers of hunch, we're going to take Miss Brown and all of her laundry and fly out to Yellowstone National Park, where the water is extremely hard. And now, here we are at Yellowstone National Park, where the water is extremely hard. Now, tell me, Miss Brown, would you say that the water out here in Yellowstone National Park is extremely hard?
Oh, yes. In fact, the water out here is so hard that it's a pleasure to sit down in a bathtub.
Now back to our main studios where we have Charlie Nostril and the 7 nasty nose pickers ready to play another song for you. But first, another word from our sponsor.
Oh, what a beautiful bouquet of whorehounds. Oh, what a beautiful bouquet of whorehounds.
Is there a woman in your life that you hate? Then say it with flowers. I take Alka-Seltzers. Overeating is my problem. And you, sir? Well, you it. When you're in a hurry, do you sometimes eat on the run? Oh, no, sir, but sometimes I eat on the fly. And now, back to Charlie Nostril and his 7 nasty nose pickers, where they're going to play a little song for you called the Elevator Song, or I Cannot Get It Up Anymore. But first, another word from our sponsor. Have you tried Parliament?
Oh, yes, I tried Parliament. Now Parliament's been trying to try me.
Yes, you see, it's what's up front that counts. It's not how long you make it, but how you make it long.
Oh, goody, it's 1 silly millimeter longer. In fact, I would like it if it wasn't 1 silly millimeter longer.
And now you can get Parliament cigarettes and the brand new queen-size cigarettes. They don't have more tobacco, just a bigger butt. And now back to Charlie Nostril and his 7 nasty nose pickers, and they're going to play a little song for you entitled The Cabbage Song, or When the Stem Dies, the Head Turns Green. But first, a word from our sponsor. Have you tried Dial soap? Did you know that 90% of the women of the world use Dial soap? You know why? Because Dial spelled backwards is laid. And now Dial soap contains chicken fat. It leaves everything finger-licking good. And now back to Charlie Nostril and the 7 nasty nose pickers, and they're going to play a little song for you called Let Me Call You Sweetheart Because I've Called You Everything Else. But first, a word from our sponsor. That hurts. Put you in the driver's seat.
Let me put you in the back seat.
Remember, now you can rent a Hertz for only 6 cents a mile.
You can go around the world with me for only $20.
As the Italian girl said when she was raped in the back seat of a rented car,
It's a hurt! It's a hurt!
and that concludes our little program for the night. And tune in next week for some more of those golden oldies by Charlie Nostril and his 7 nasty nose pickers. But remember, girls, women on the whole prefer men.
Well, back to Mr. Ken Idaho here, and it seems that Ken has family problems now. I think his whole trouble is he's getting too old to cut the mustard. But let's bring him out here and see what's on his mind. Ken, come on.
It's sad, but true. Someday it'll happen to you. Your can-do can't keep up with your want-to. Met a gal in a wayside tavern. Oh, the time and the place was right. Oh, I promised her love that she never had before, and it was gonna last all night. 5 minutes after we got started, the night for me was through. I found my can-do, can't keep up with my want-to. That's just about the way it is, too. In fact, you know, it's got so bad, it reminds me of that poem where it said, you're not old when your hair turns gray, and you're not old when your teeth decay, but it makes you feel blue and kind of weak when your mind makes a date that your body can't keep. That's just about my problem, too. In fact, you know, it's got so bad that I think Sex Drive is the name of a street. In fact, you know, nowadays when I go home for a little peace and quiet, I go home to rest. And that's really when my troubles begin, too. You see, me and the old lady's been having some weight problems at home. She's been having trouble trying to keep hers down. Hell, I've been having trouble trying to get mine up. Yes. But I tell you what, though, that old gal is a pretty good old gal, though, because, you know, when we go to bed now at night, she's got where she puts on about, you know, 2 or 3 of them there gowns, 4 or 5 of them frilly-dilly petticoats, and some of them underdrawers, jockey shorts, muted shorts, long handles, and all that kind of stuff. Because she knows I'll have more fun looking for it than I do when I find it. In fact, she's got where she calls me Alka-Seltzer. Because after about 5 seconds, I fizzle out. But really, you know, I think I must be suffering from the astronaut's disease or something. Because, you know, I blast off okay, but I sure got a re-entry problem. I guess maybe I'm just an old slowpoke. You know, slowpoke, that's fat and 40 going for seconds. That is a slow poke. I'll be explaining them after the show. But I tell you what, the darndest thing happened to me the other day. You know, I went to town and I got up there and the sole came off my shoe. So I just walked in this store there and bought me a new pair of shoes and I threw the old ones away. And I started walking home. And you know, them darn old shoes started hurting my feet. First time I ever seen tennis shoes hurt your feet. But no, I just decided to just take them off and walk home in my socks. So I did, and I took them off and went walking home in my socks and walked in the front room there and had my socks on. The old lady asked me what happened, and I told her about them new shoes hurting my feet, me walking home in my socks. She started laughing. I said, what the devil are you laughing about? She said, you know, that's the first time in 20 years that you've really socked it home. Well, I wasn't going to sock it for years. Yeah, but I told her, I said, woman, look here, don't you start putting me down because, you know, when it comes to making love, I'm sort of an expert. Really, I am an expert at making love. And she looked at me and said, yeah. I said, you're an expert, okay, but said, break that up in syllables and look it up in the dictionary. And I did, and it said that X means has been and spurt means a drip under pressure. But no, I tell you what, that gal is pretty gamey, though. I mean, she's pretty gamey. Well, she smells gamey anyhow. But she's always trying to get me sexed up. Just like the other day, she went in the other room and changed out of her clothes, you know, just got stripped naked there, and I was in there reading the paper. She stuck this rose in her mouth and come moseying out there and got a thorn in her lip. She went back in there and put a Band-Aid over it and come back out with a Band-Aid across. Sure looked sexy there with that Band-Aid across there. Personally, I think you put the Band-Aid in the wrong place. No, they don't make Band-Aids that big. They did, it'd come in a box that big. Why shouldn't it? I do. But you didn't get that one? Okay. Okay, I quit ad-libbing. Anyhow, when she came back out there, she was moseying around me about 2 or 3 times there, just naked as a jaybird, you know. Damn near turned my stomach. But anyhow, I watched her go around about 2 or 3 times, and finally I looked at her and said, "Why, honey, you're getting gray." She said, "Them's not gray hairs, them's cobwebs." That's sad, but true. Someday it'll happen to you. You can't keep up your won't do.
Thank you. Boy, he's something else out there. Come here, Ken Idaho. I want to talk to you, boy. I want to ask you a question. He has yet to sing a song or do a number that he doesn't work sex into it some way and get risque and suggestive. Can't you ever tell a story and tell it clean?
You're the nasty one in this bunch. What are you getting on me for? I tell you, that's
Me?
the nastiest minded cat I ever seen in my life. Every time I start to do something right,
Wait,
he winds
wait,
up and makes it just so nasty everybody thinks I done it. And I'm clean-minded.
You couldn't tell a clean story if you had.
I could, Sue, so I could. Yes, I could.
I'll never believe it till I hear it.
You're a good, clean story that I can tell?
I certainly do.
Okay,
And I'll just prove to him who is a nasty one, as you say.
You're darn right.
All
We're
right,
going
now
to prove
listen.
it right now. Move over, chubby cheeks. Here I go. But now you see this here clean story I had. See, one time old Tex Ritter was sitting in this bar, and he was sitting there, and old Tex ordered him up some this here old sarsaparilla, and he drank that, and then old Tex walked over and he sat down, he played some cards a little bit with his friends, and old Tex got back up there, and he went up and drank some more sarsaparilla, and then old Tex decided to leave, so old Tex got his hat and put it on, and old Tex started out the door there, and just as he started out the door, old Tex hit this here woman, and it knocked her coat out of her hand. So she looked around and said, "Would you pick up my coat, George?"
Pick up my coat, George.
That's it. That's it.
Oh, man, would you pick up my coat, Tex?
Ah, see there, he just... Tell them people, get up there and repent. Dear beloved, is going to preach tonight on corn, nicotine, alcohol, and temptation and evil of the Jimmy Heap Show. Show. 1, 2, 3. Mary had a mini skirt, she wore it to and fro, and every time she bent over, her stuff was sure to show. Let it all hang. When you feel fanny, you feel funny, but you can't feel fanny unless you can give her money and let it all hang out. Oh, play it, dear beloved. I'm all tore up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, play it, dear. The cat can't kitten, the dog can't pup, and the old man can't get his yo-yo up and let it all hang. Thank you, dear beloved, you reach your reward somewhere. Went to Mexico from St. for a dragon, saw a man on the corner with his tamale wagon. Let it all hang. Laugh, dear beloved. Woo! Gonna reap your reward. Oh, yes. Feel it. I feel it. I feel it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gonna buy a paper doll I can call my own, so I can tear off a little piece while I'm all alone. Let it all. See, I better get this next one right. Feathers on a duck ready for plucking, girls out of high school ready for college. I goofed that the other day. We don't play there no more, I tell you. Let it all hang out. Let it all hang out, dear brother. Let it all hang out. Thank you, Lord.
We have with us tonight a young lady that would like just a few minutes of your time to speak to you on behalf of the women's position in politics. So I think it's only fair that we devote a few minutes of her time to this young lady. So let's bring her out and make her welcome and see what's on her mind. Miss Claire Loosebooth. Claire, come on, say hi to the people.
Thank you. Oh, you got such nice people here tonight. In fact, before I came in, there was a couple of men outside there who said they'd like to play tiddlywinks with me. Said I had such nice tiddles. The speech. In order that we women may again have political prestige, we must have what the men have. It may not be much, but we must have it. And if we cannot get it without friction, then we'll take it with friction. And if we cannot get it through organizations, then we'll take it any damn way we can get it. Oh, yes. We resent being poked in the galley and demand to be placed on the floor of the house. That's all right. We are willing to look up to men, but we will not be held down without making a few motions of our own. We want to hold up our ends and show our possibilities too. Huh? And nothing that comes up will be too hard for us. Well, it hasn't in the past. We have always been interested in good movements. And we are willing to work under men even to the point of exhaustion. But we are becoming dissatisfied with failures and shortcomings. When anything comes up that requires our attention, we would take care of it again and 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 again. I know you won't kiss me. Would you pull my hair? The women of the world are demanding equal rights with the men. Yes, the women of the world are demanding equal rights for the men in everything except capital punishment. And we do not believe the women should be hung like men. We think they should get the hot seat instead. But too often in the past, our efforts have been met with a cry of down with petticoats. But I say unto you, up with petticoats and down with pants, and then we'll see things as they really are. So just remember me, Miss Clara Loose Booth. And when we go to those polls, let's pack those boxes. Because remember, the women of the world must be united. Yes, the women of the world must be united, because as long as we're split like we are, the men will always be on top.
Well, they may have a point there, I'll tell you for sure. This boy over here is a complete idiot, a complete fool. He spends his whole life trying to make you folks happy, but actually he's had a lot of hard luck in his life. He really has. All his life has not been the roses and honey as you may think. Why don't you sing a little hard luck song for us, Ken, and just let them see some of the bad luck you've had during your lifetime.
All right.
Here's Mr. Ken Idaho.
I hear tell you're doing swell, your days are coming to you. I wish I had your happiness, and you had to do whack-a-doo, 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 whack-a-doo. I hear tell you're running free, your days are never blue. I wish I had your good luck charm, and you had to do whack-a-doo, 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 whack-a-doo.
Quit jazzing it up. Just sing it like you were. You're doing fine. Come on.
Jazz, hell, I forgot the words.
Well, whistle.
That's just about my luck, though. In fact, I'm so unlucky if there was to cut a woman in half, I'd get the half that ate. Food, that is. But I tell you what, I'm so unlucky. I was riding down the road the other day, and I saw this woman, walking on the side of the road there. That I figured, well, I'd just stop, sort of give her a ride, and maybe we could get together on a few things, So I pull over there and stop. And I said, "Hey, lady, if I give you a ride, what's in it for me?" She said, "Dust. I've been walking all day." I figured a little dust never hurt nobody, not till it turns to mud, But I've been in a lot of dust storms and some of them other kinds too, Them other kinds stink. But anyhow, I figured I'd give her a ride, and by the time she got in the car, she looked at me and said, "Look here, buddy, so I'm going to take everything you got." I said, "You think you can?" She said, "I think so." I said, "I got this gun here. So now you give me your money and your car keys and everything." So I handed her my money and my car keys, and about that time she said, "Now take off all your clothes." Hot damn, my luck has changed. But boy, I jerked off them clothes in record time, The zippers save you a lot of time, about 5 minutes. Mountain time. But I got them clothes off, and she looked at me and she said, "Now hand me your belt." So I handed her my belt, and so she took it and she tied my hands together like that, and then she made me bend over and she tied my hands to my ankles, And then she just put me out there on the side of the road, just naked as a jaybird, and she went driving off in my car, There I was going down the road, just hopping along there, doing the best I could, all bent over and everything. And about that time, along came this guy in his car. Stopped me, come running back there and said, "Hey, man, so what are you doing all bent over there naked like that?" So I told him what happened about that woman took everything I had, and put me out there like that. And he said, "Man, so you ought to straighten up, so you look terrible bent over there like that." So, like a one-eyed cat coming back up the road. I told him, I said, "Man, I can't straighten up. My hands is tied to my ankles." He said, "You sure you can't straighten up?" I said, "No, man, I can't straighten up." He said, "Just ain't your day, is it, boy?" Riding down the road in a big Cadillac, you got girls in the bunch. You got girls in the coat on, and you had a feather up your do, whack-a-doo, 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 whack-a-doo.
Oh, there's a crazy one. You want to hear one more? We don't have Jack Webb with us tonight, but we have Spiderweb Idaho to come out here and give you his impression of one of the TV shows they brought back out of the past, one of the big hits of the past. So, Ken, if you're ready, you're on, boy.
The story you're about to hear is a damn lie. I know, because the nightclub operator told me they'll lie about anything. I'm a private dick. Don't get your hopes up. I don't get nothing up either. In fact, I worked undercover most of the time. Usually wind up on top. But I started out on bottom, though. In fact, I used to be a private dick in a nudist colony. Believe me, a dick in a nudist colony is pretty hard. My name, Tommy Gunn. Last night, one of my girlfriends became a mother. Now everybody calls me Pop Gun. Last week, 5 of my girlfriends became mothers. I guess you could say I'm the fastest gun alive. Sort of a sex shooter. But to be a private eye, you don't have to be smart. You don't have to be strong. You don't even have to own a gun. You just have to be irresistible like me. And be able to tell time. 12:01. I sat in my office, watching my secretary type a letter. She's not really my secretary, she just handles my business when I'm in town. In fact, she can't even type. Just a hunting pecker. I said that right, y'all heard it wrong. 12:02. Then past my window, past a tall blonde. I know she's tall because my window's on the 3rd floor. 12:02. 12:02. That damn watch. Would you believe 12:03? 12:03. Then I heard a knock on the door. I ran across the room, tripped over the sofa, opened the door. There wasn't nobody there. So I went back to work. 12:04. I heard another knock on the door. I ran across the room, tripped over the sofa, opened the door. There wasn't nobody there. So I went back to work. 12:05. I heard another knock on the door. I ran across the room, tripped over the sofa, picked up the sofa and threw it out the window, opened the door, and there stood a tall blonde. I ran downstairs and got the sofa. Sort of figured we'd have a little scotch and sofa. Without the sofa, boy, she'd get floored. I got back upstairs, and there she lay.
Lied.
Lied!
Lied sounds better.
No, she laid better than she lied. Probably lied about both. But there she lay, with a knife in her heart, a bullet between her eyes, a noose around her neck, a poison bottle in her hand, and a saber stuck clean through her. I suspected treachery. What I needed was clues. So I ran to the clues closet. Okay, that's a BD joke. You get it about 9 days.
I did. Just like my watch, it's still running. I opened the closet door, and there laid a dead policeman. I turned and looked at my secretary, who was sitting there with her feet up on the desk, and I said, "Ye gads, fuzz." She pulled down her dress and said, "What'd you expect, a ponytail?" I heard another knock on the door. I ran across the room, opened the door, and there stood a woman with a pair of 38s. She also had a gun. She shot me 9 times. I said 9, stupid. Oh, God. One of them nicked my heart. I put a band-aid over it and went back to work. I looked at my secretary, she looked at me, and we decided to hell with Dragnet. We'd get our own show. I knew she'd be better in TV because she had bigger knobs, friendly reception, and a groovier channel.
Oh, thank you. That's enough from him for tonight, good people. Let's get back here to the dance and hope you enjoyed as much as he did.